Hey everybody, and welcome to the inaugural barbecue video for Games and Grills. This is Chris, and what we have today are some baby back ribs. I was able to pick these up at a local grocery store for ridiculously cheap. I think for the 2 racks I paid just over $6. Now they were enjoy tonight type of meat, so they were coming towards the end of their shelf life, but I picked them up last night, yesterday, and we're gonna put them on the smoker today and enjoy some baby back ribs. Now the great thing about these, I've noticed, is that they've already been trimmed and prepped, so the membrane has been taken off of the underside of all 4 of the slabs here, so that makes our job a lot easier. Basically, all we're going to do is rub them and get them ready to go on the smoker in a few hours. So as for rubs, I've just got some basic stuff, nothing too fancy. We've got some McCormick rubs, grill mates that I picked up at Walmart last week. So we've got Smokehouse Maple, a barbecue, and a chipotle and roasted garlic. Now these, I've already opened them up, I've already smelled them, they smell amazing. And then I've just got some sea salt and garlic and some chili peppers in there, just some plain old black pepper. And I'm just going to do 1 rub for each of the slabs, and then the last one just going to do some salt and pepper, just to see how they all turn out. Now to bind, just some plain old yellow mustard. From my experience, which I will admit isn't a whole heck of a lot, the mustard acts as a great binder for the rubs, but you don't get any mustard flavor when they're done. So it works really well, excuse me, to make sure that your rub is sticking on without giving you any crazy mustard flavor or anything like that. So we're gonna get all of these all slathered up with the mustard. Just want to make sure you get a good coating on all parts of your ribs with that mustard. There we go. I want to make sure that you get a nice liberal coating with your rubs, and my goodness, they smell good. Let's get the coffee pot handle out of the way. I don't think we need to get any rub or anything on that. So go ahead, don't be afraid to be a little crazy. I'll grab some paper towels, get the mustard off of my hands, because that's going to make using this a little bit easier. Alright, now I'll just go to each one and just make sure everything's got a good rub all over. Flip them over. Can't forget to do the underside. Well, there's not a whole lot of meat on them, but Again, you don't want to forget any part of these awesome ribs. Oh, I got a little bit carried away there. It's okay. I don't think that's going to hurt it at all. And again, just get in there and rub everything onto the ribs. All right, so those are all prepped. And I'm gonna wrap them in not foil, in saran wrap, put them back in the fridge for a few hours, then pull them out maybe about 45 minutes before they're ready to go in the smoker, just to get them to room temperature, and we'll go from there. So we will see you in a little bit. All right, everybody, so welcome back. We are getting ready to put the ribs on. So I've got my charcoal grate filled here. I had some charcoal left over from the last cook I did, so we've got some sitting in there and then some fresh on top. I'm going to do the minion method, so we've left a hole in the middle there to pour the hot charcoals onto, and they are just getting warmed up top there. So I'm going to throw in some hickory chunks, I think. I really like hickory. I don't have a whole lot of big chunks left in this bag. Oh, there's a decent one there. So I'll put in just a few nice chunks of hickory here. Let's get a decent amount of smoke. Well, and that's Roger. He's our beagle, and he is ridiculously loud sometimes. Don't mind him. Now, I've also got some mesquite chips that I'm going to throw on too. I'm currently wanting a really bold flavor for these ribs, so I'm just going to scatter some mesquite chips in there as well. Don't want to put in too much and end up over smoking, so that should be good. And then I'll just grab a couple of chunks of hickory to throw on top of the coals once we got them out. So everything's ready down here. Just need to wait for the coals to get nice and hot, and then we'll dump them on, and then we'll be right back. Hey everybody, and welcome back. So we've got our coals in the chimney here, and they are nice and hot, so we're going to dump them down onto the rest of our coals here. There we go. And then just drop a few of these chunks here in. And then we're going to be good to go for that. So we'll get the rest of the smoker put together here. Now I'm going to go with the water pan in, and with a little bit of water in there just to regulate the temps just a little bit. Last time I cooked, things were pretty high and crazy. So we're going to put a water pan in. Alright, so now we'll let the whole thing come up to temp. So we'll let the whole thing come up to temp. I've got my digital thermometer here ready to go, and then we'll get those ribs on. See you in a minute. Alright, so the grill temp is up to about 220, so we will take the top off of here and we'll get those ribs on. There we go. And we'll get the temperature probe into one of them just so that we can get an idea of when these things are going to be finished. There, that should be good. There we go. All right, so we've got them on, and we'll just monitor the temperature. We're shooting for 225 and trying to hold it good and steady right along there. Come back in about a half an hour and we will baste the ribs with a mixture of some apple juice and anything else I can find that should be good to spritz on them. All right, stick around. All right, so we are sitting right at about 225 right now, and they have been sitting on there for a little bit now, about a half an hour. So I'm just going to come in and spritz. Now I've got some apple cider and Worcestershire sauce mixed up in here, so we'll just give them a good spritz. This just helps keep them moist. So that is definitely a good thing. Now, one thing I have learned just in a little bit here is that putting a temperature probe in ribs does absolutely nothing, because you can't get a decent sorry, that was just my alarm going off because I got the lid off here. The temperature's gone down. You can't get a decent spot into the ribs to check the temps. So we're just going to leave it out, and when they're done, we'll just do the bend test to check the doneness. All right, so we'll leave them go for another half hour and come back. All right, so we have been going for just a little over an hour now, and we're sitting right at about 225. So things are going pretty good. We'll take a look and give her a little bit of a spritz again. Well, those are starting to look pretty good. All right. So we're going to let these go for about another hour. Then we'll foil them for the next 2 hours to get them nice and tender, and then go from there. So again, we're going to be doing the 2-2-1 method, you know, as close as possible. They're looking good, and they're smelling even better. Stick around, everybody. So the ribs have been on for a good 2 hours now. So next, we're going to put them into this foil pan, foil on top, and add some apple juice and butter, and then we'll get them back on. But that is how they look so far. They smell amazing. I can't wait to try these. I'm just going to cut some hunks of butter off. And the butter and the apple juice are just going to help to keep these ribs nice and tender. And they're just gonna steam inside the foil. There we go. Foil them twice just to make sure that they are good and sealed in there. Then we're going to get them back on for another 2 hours, and we'll check in after that. All right, so the ribs have been in this foil pan and tinfoil covering for about 2 hours now. Let's pull them out and see what we've got to work with here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, the smell is just fantastic. How are they doing? Look at all that juice down there. Yep, it's got a pretty good bend on it. But we're going to give it one more hour. And you can see with these here how the bones are pulling back, so that is a great sign. All right, we'll get these back on the smoker and give them another hour, and then they should be good to go. All right, so those ribs are looking done. So I'm going to take them in. I'll foil them for a little bit while we let these potatoes finish up. And we'll cut into these ribs, and God, they look good. I can't wait. We'll go inside and we'll cut into them in a few minutes, and we'll see how they look on the inside. All right, so here are the ribs. They are all done and looking pretty good. They've been tented for, I don't know, about 10-15 minutes. So I'm just gonna carve into one of them now, and we'll see how they look. Yeah, those look pretty good there, don't they? Got just a little bit of pull. And we'll give them a try now. Oh, that is a good rib. My goodness, it is tender, juicy, fantastic. Well, thanks for watching, and look forward to more of these videos in the future.